This is the 2017 Audi A4 B9. It is powered by a 2.0 liter turbocharged petrol engine, which makes 250 brake horsepower and 370 Newton meters of torque. That power is sent to all the four wheels via a quick shifting 7-speed electronic gearbox in what Audi calls Quattro all-wheel drive system. This car should be able to smash the 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, which is the performance benchmark for acceleration, in less than 7 seconds. Alright, if you want to watch a complete review of this car, including a 0 to 100 kilometers per hour sprint, check out our YouTube channel. We have a detailed review of this car. In today's video, I want to delve into the different payment methods you can use when you want to purchase a car. So welcome to 026 once again. My name is Bill Tori, and today I'm going to look at the different methods you can use for car payment. And then if you want to purchase a car, you can check our social media pages. That is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, so that you get car reviews. Any information you want about cars, you can always get it there. If you also want to purchase a car, you can shoot us a message on the number below. We are going to scout a clean car for you, subject it to all the checks, and ensure that you are going home with a clean car. Alright, let's look at the different payment methods you can use when you want to purchase a car. The first payment method is called cash. Now this is the simplest and let me say the most straightforward method you can use when you want to purchase a car. Now under cash payment, this one works in such a manner that, for instance, if you have identified a car that goes for 2 million shillings, you are going to transfer or wire that coins to the seller's account, and immediately wire that 2 million shillings to the seller's account, the car becomes yours. Now that is actually very simple to understand. Once you agree the price with the dealer and you transfer that money to their account, it is actually, you become the owner of the car, and that payment is actually done once. You don't remain with any balance. Basically, that is what is called cash payment. Under any payment, there are pros and cons. The main advantage of purchasing a car on cash basis is that you become the only owner, and you immediately become the owner. Because in this case, for instance, if you purchase a car that is already registered, the dealer should be able to transfer the car to your name immediately. And now your business ends there. They are of course going to give you the original logbook that you are going to take to NTSA, and then you are going to pick yours, which should be having your details. Now that is the advantage of purchasing a car on cash basis. Another advantage of purchasing a car on cash basis is that it gives you that flexibility to negotiate to the best level possible, because everyone wants cash. Even the dealers want cash to plow back into business. So once they realize that you want to purchase a car on cash, they are going actually to go to the lowest level possible. They don't want you to go with cash. Should you get a scenario whereby a dealer rejects your cash offer, that means it's below the threshold that they can actually get to. So that is another advantage of purchasing a car on cash basis. You actually get the best deal possible. The third advantage of purchasing a car on cash basis is that you actually have the flexibility to exhaust all the options in the market. For instance, if you want a fully loaded car, and you have exhausted Nairobi, you can go to Mombasa, you go to Nakuru, and check all the options before you settle for a car. The other payment methods that I'm going to come to in a few moments, not all dealers will accept them, and they don't give you that flexibility to get what you want. So cash will give you the flexibility to get what you want. Now those are the advantages of purchasing a car on cash basis. Now every payment method, of course, should be having some disadvantages. I don't know whether this one is a disadvantage, but let me just look at it. The disadvantage in quotes of purchasing a car on cash basis is that you're going to pay all that money at once. So if you wanted maybe to plow back the money into business, it may not be possible, especially if you're working with a tight budget. So that is the main disadvantage. You have to raise all that coin in one setting. So the second method of car payment is called bank financing. Now under bank financing, you're going to identify a car, and then you're going to pay partly for the car, and the bank is going to pay the balance for you. Basically, it's that they are going to give you a loan, but they're going to pay all that going to the dealer's account. So in this case, for instance, if you have identified a car that is worth 2 million shillings, and maybe you can only raise 25% of that coin, which is 500,000, the bank is going to pay for you, that is 1.5 million to the dealer's account. Now, under bank financing, it is your responsibility to check the car, subject to all the checks before maybe you contact the bank to purchase, to pay the balance for you. Of course, this is how it works. Once you have identified a car, the dealer is going to give you something that is called a pro forma invoice. A pro forma invoice shows the car's details: make and model, engine capacity, chassis number, and the price with which you have agreed with the deal, of course, the deposit you may want to pay, and then the bank is going to evaluate and assess your capability to be given that balance, or for them to pay for you. Now, if the bank is going to accept that they are going to pay for you that balance, they are going to send someone to do valuation and to assess the car, because they are going to invest their money there. They also have to do due diligence. Now, in this case, of course, it's obvious that we are going to become two owners, you and the bank. Of course, the bank is going to have an upper hand when it comes to that ownership, because they are going to be in possession of the logbook. Now, that is how bank financing works. If you don't meet the capability to pay off for a car, and maybe the bank finds you that you are a little bit ambitious, you wanted something big, they are going to advise you to get something which is actually smaller, which may not be what you wanted. But of course, if you don't have all the coin, you should not be having a problem when you are being told to downsize. Now, the main advantage of a bank financing is that you can actually own a car without necessarily raising the whole amount needed to purchase a car. That is the main advantage of bank financing. Or for example, if you are employed and you have 2 million shillings, but you want to spend 1 million shillings on a car, you can actually recoup the other coin and put it into business for it to generate another coin for you. So that is another advantage of bank financing. All right, if someone, for instance, if you purchase a car at 2 million shillings, a car priced at 2 million shillings, and then you pay 1 million shilling and someone else the bank pays for you 1 million shilling, of course you don't expect to pay 1 million maybe after 3 years, because the bank is also in business. That should tell you why they are going to charge an interest on you. Now, that is the disadvantage of purchasing a car on cash on bank financing, because those installments or the amount of money that you're going to be deducted monthly, it's actually subjected to some interest. Of course, that should be common knowledge that whoever purchases a car for you, they are going to charge some interest. Now, another disadvantage of bank financing is that if your cash flow does not go as you expected, there is a possibility that the car is going to be repossessed from you. That's why a car will actually be having a tracker installed on it, so that they can know its location and actually pick it from you. So that is a disadvantage of bank financing. If your cash flow doesn't go as anticipated, and you default on making the payments, or now you don't have the capability to pay, which is possible if you are laid off, or maybe if your business goes down, that is something that is a possibility. So in this case, the bank is going to repossess the car from you, and they are going to sell it. But you also have that flexibility of selling the car before they come for it from you. It's only that you're going to have a challenge to negotiate, or maybe to convince a buyer to purchase a car that has a loan. Of course, you can purchase a car that has a loan, but you should be able to at least convince the buyer that you are going to offset that balance, because it's something that takes a process. So that means the buyer also has to have some patience, and it is a game that involves trust. Third car payment method is called hire purchase. This one has become pretty popular these days. Now, under hire purchase, as expected, you're going to pay for some percentage which will act as a deposit, and then the dealer is going to allow you to pay the rest of the payments in form of installments and an agreed duration. Under hire purchase, you're going to identify a car, maybe something that is valued at 3.5 million shillings. You are going to raise some percentage of the car's value. For instance, if you want to purchase a car which is valued at 3.5 million, and maybe it's a Toyota Harrier, maybe you place a deposit of 1.8 million, you'll have a balance of 1.7 million. In this case, you can agree with the dealer to pay the balance in 6 months, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30 or 36 months, depending on the deposit you place and the flexibility of the seller. Another thing you may also want to learn is that the installment you are going to pay monthly will greatly depend on the duration and the deposit you place. So the higher the deposit, the lower the installment and the more flexibility you have in terms of the duration. So I always advise people to actually place higher deposits so that you can have that flexibility. Now that is how hire purchase method works. Now the main advantage of hire purchase is that you are not limited, or you don't need to raise the car's whole amount for you to purchase that car. The disadvantage, of course, of purchasing a car on hire purchase is that, like I said, if someone gives you their asset, if you pay 1 million shillings on a car that is worth 2 million shillings, and you go with the car, you don't expect to pay 1 million shilling as the balance, because someone has given you their asset and they are in business, so they should be making some profit. So they are going to charge you some interest on that 1 million shillings. For instance, if you agree that you're going to pay for a car maybe in 15 months and the balance is 1.5 million, and that should translate maybe to 100,000 monthly, you realize that the payment will not be 100,000 shillings, it will not be 100. So it may be around 115, 112, 110, depending on the dealer's interest. So that is a disadvantage of a hire purchase. I don't look at it as a big disadvantage, because it's something you should be expecting when you don't have the full amount. Now another disadvantage of hire purchase is that it is limiting, because not all dealers accept hire purchase. So that means you are actually at their mercy. Basically, you're going to settle on what is available, because not everyone is going to accept hire purchase. So that actually limits your flexibility. For instance, if I have a fully loaded car, something like maybe a Subaru Forest XT, which has a panoramic sunroof, something like a Harman Kardon sound system, heated seats, if I'm a dealer, of course I'll prefer someone who's going to maybe use cash payment method, because that is a fully loaded car that is actually going to sell pretty fast. Now that is a disadvantage. Another disadvantage of hire purchase is that if your cash flow doesn't go as you had expected, there is also a possibility that the seller can repossess that car back. That is why in most cases when you're purchasing a car on hire purchase, a tracker is installed on that car, so that if you default and maybe you become unreachable, they're going to trace that car, take it away, resell it to recoup their coin back. So that is a main disadvantage of a hire purchase. But in most cases, if you've been making your payments in a very good manner, you can always renegotiate that the dealer restructures the payment. Otherwise, if you become uncooperative and you are unreachable, they'll repossess the car and resell it back. I normally advise my clients that if, for instance, if a dealer gives you, if you have that flexibility of paying for a car in 9 months, I always advise them maybe to take 12 months, such that that 3 months can actually give you that some room in case your cash flow doesn't go as expected. Now, apart from cash, bank financing and hire purchase, another method you can use to purchase a car is called Sacco financing. Now under Sacco financing, for instance, if you're a member of some Sacco and you've been saving, they can also purchase a car for you. You're going to raise some deposit and they're going to pay the rest for you. The process is actually pretty similar to bank financing, because even for them you have to raise some deposit, though I've had clients in the past who have been financed 100%. 100% basically means the Sacco is paying everything. Just like bank financing and hire purchase, of course you expect some interest to be charged on them. But when I'm comparing hire purchase and Sacco financing, under Sacco financing the terms may be a little bit friendlier, because the Sacco is also trying to create or build some relationship with you. So that is a car payment method number 4. The fifth method of a car payment is actually called a trade-in. Now this one may not work for first-time car buyers, because in this case you should be owning a car that you want to exchange for some value. So in this case, for instance, if you are owning maybe a GRX 120 Mark X, which is a 2008 model, maybe valued at 650,000, and you want maybe a newer model of the Mark X, maybe a GRX 130, 135 series, which is valued maybe at 2.2 million shillings, you are going to take your car into the dealership. They are going to subtract that 650 shillings from that 2.2 million shillings, and then you're going to pay the rest. So basically, in this case, your car, you're going to exchange your car and you're going to add some coin on that. That is what is actually called trade-in. You have to own a car that will be given some value, and then you're going to pay the difference. So what is the main advantage of a trade-in? The main advantage of trade-in is that you don't have to go through the hassle of selling your car. Actually, selling a car is a very cumbersome process. You'll be listing your car online, and then people will be coming and then they'll be giving you crazy offers, very low offers that don't reflect the true value of the car. It's a lengthy process. It also comes with quite a number of disadvantages. Now, the main disadvantage of a trade-in is that most dealerships will actually undervalue your car. They'll not give you the right value for your car because they are going to resell it. So they have to price it low so that it's going to be easier for them to sell. I had a case whereby someone wanted to trade in their Mazda Xela 2015 petrol. Their car it's in a good condition and it should be going for something like 1.3, 1.4 million shillings. But the dealership offered him 1.1 million shillings. He wanted to purchase a diesel variation 2018, which is valued at 2 million shillings. Now, when you're looking at that case, that means he should have gone a loss, which should be around 200,000 or 300,000. So that should tell you the main disadvantage of a trade-in is that you don't necessarily get the true value of your car because you have to go lower so that the dealer will accept. Now, another disadvantage of trade-in is that not all dealerships accept trade-in, and some dealerships actually only trade in cars that they have sold or you've purchased from them in the past. So that is another disadvantage of trade-in. So some dealerships will advise you to sell the car and then you go with cash. I'll also advise that just sell your car, get some money before you go to purchase a car. It gives you the flexibility of exhausting the market, and you also have that chance of getting some good coin on your car, unless and otherwise it's a poorly maintained car that cannot attract some good money. And as expected, when you take your car to the dealership, they'll have to subject it to checks to ensure that whatever you are giving them is in a good shape, whether you purchased from them or not. So it's not that you're going to dispose a bad car to them. So if you want to purchase a car, there are different methods you can use to pay. So method number 1 is called cash payment. Method number 2 is called bank financing. Method number 3 is called hire purchase. Method number 4 is called Sacco financing. And the 5th method is actually called trade-in. So those are the 5 methods. I think that is enough for today. If there is something that has not been covered in this video, you can always get in touch with us so that we give you more clarification. In case you also want to purchase a car, always remember that we do scout clean cars for you. We subject them to all the checks and ensure that you are going home with a clean car. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one on 026 Motoring.